Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Welcome to Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin. People have asked me why a podcast on peak performance. Well, for years, I've been coaching executives, entrepreneurs, pro athletes, and even single moms. And what I find time and time again is people know what to do, but they don't know how to execute. That's where everything breaks down. And it's a shame because they keep going and they want more answers. They want more information. They want to find out more tricks or tools on what to do. But they already know what to do. The problem is that they don't know how to execute effectively. So I want to change that. That's the bottom line. So this show is going to be about how to execute effectively and how to do that consistently. It's going to be raw. It's going to be real. There's going to be very limited editing because I want to have a conversation. This is not about me pontificating about what I know in this area or what our guests that you'll be hearing from later in future episodes. But this is really about having a real conversation about those things that get in the way of you executing to the highest level. So 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to bring to you ideas that I've learned over 35 years and working with people that are absolutely the best and are just killers when it comes to execution. No pun intended there, but they are just great at executing. 2 or 3, maybe 4 days a week, you're going to hear from people that are great executors. You're going to hear from entrepreneurs. You're going to hear from professional athletes. You're going to hear from business executives. And yes, you're going to hear from that single mom that has so many things that she's trying to juggle and she gets it done and she does it consistently and she has a great quality of life. So I'm going to bring those people on an interview basis and we're going to talk to them and find out what they do specifically to produce the results that they're getting. 1 day a week, I'm going to take your questions and we're going to answer those on air, most likely on Sunday, but we'll figure out what day that's going to be. Now, this is all about execution, right? And that is one of the reasons that I chose a podcast. I could have did a blog. I could have done video, but those two would have required you to take time and set aside and focus on just this. That's not the way I want this to work. In order to be a peak performer, you need to be doing things efficiently and effectively, and your time is limited. So the shows that I'm going to be producing are going to be about 10 to 20 minutes max. You may even find one that's only 6 or 7 minutes. I want to get to the point, and I want to get to the point quickly. The interviews will last anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes, and they're going to be short, sweet, and to the point. So that is the reason that I set up a podcast. And also, I want you to be listening to this while you're doing something else. In other words, when you're going to work, that's the time to be listening to the podcast. When you're at the gym, listen to the podcast. That's what I do. I don't listen to music in the car. I don't listen to music at the gym. I listen to podcasts from other great podcasters. And I'm learning every day when I'm driving and when I'm at the gym. I'm working that muscle in the brain. So if you haven't already done so, please head over to iTunes. Please subscribe. Listen to the episodes. If you love them, leave a 5-star rating. If you don't love them yet, keep listening. And when you do love them, then go back to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating. If you haven't already done so, please head over to thorconklin.com, sign up for our newsletter, and I will be sending out additional tips, tricks, and tools on how to be an effective executor. Also, you can follow us on Facebook at thorconklin.com, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I do not currently do the Snapchat and this chat and that tat because if I was broadcasting all day on different social media networks, I would not be a very good example of what it takes to be a peak performer. Because let's face it, folks, we have a lot to do other than be on social media. So with that said, I look forward to seeing you here on the next episode of Peak Performers. Thank you for tuning in and have an amazing day.